Hey guys, it's Sherry from WhistleOut TV. Today I'm going to give you a sneak peek of 4 new phones that were released today at Galaxy Unpacked in San Francisco. These phones range from $999 all the way to $1,400 with this bad boy, the S20 Ultra. A little bit noisy and a little bit crowded, so we're gonna go somewhere else and I'm gonna show you and tell you all about these devices. Okay, we have stepped outside. It is a lot cooler, there's fresh air, and I'm not around a lot of people, which is good because I have the nervous sweats, and the nervous sweats don't smell that good. But we are at the Palace of Fine Arts in San Francisco. To the right, we have the Golden Gate Bridge, and to the left, we have the city, and it is just a perfect location to be discussing the new phones released today by Samsung. So let's quickly go over the phones that were released. There were 4 new phones: the S20, the S20 Plus, the S20 Ultra, and of course the phone that everybody was looking forward to, the Galaxy Z Flip, which we will get to later in the video. But first, let's go over the details of the new S20s. The S20 is $1,000, the S20 Plus is $1,200, and the S20 Ultra is $1,400. And let's just take a minute to soak that in. $1,400 for a cell phone. I mean, if that's your cup of tea, then go for it, but it is not mine. So what do all of these phones have in common to make them so expensive? Well, all of them are 5G capable, and that doesn't mean a lot right now because 5G availability isn't available in lots of places. There are a few select cities from a few carriers that will allow you to access it, but it's not really important to have a 5G phone right now. This will be a different conversation next year, but as of right now, it's not worth it, in my opinion, to spend $1,500 on a 5G phone when you can't even access a 5G network. Another cool thing about these phones is they all have a 120 Hertz refresh rate, which blows last year's model, Galaxy model, the S10, out of the water. The S10 last year only had a 60 Hertz refresh rate. So doubling that will help you gamers out by keeping the gaming running smoothly, and if you're watching video, it will make the video be able to run a lot more smoothly as well. Now, when it comes to storage and RAM, there's a lot of good things here. There is a 12 gigabyte RAM for the S20, and it goes up to a 16 gigabyte RAM for the S20 Ultra. Last year's S10 models only had an 8 gigabyte RAM, so we are seeing a lot of improvements there. And when it comes to storage, it starts at 128 gigabytes, which is typical for the Galaxy devices, and goes up to 512, but it can keep up to 1 terabyte with a added micro SD card, and you will need that terabyte because all of these phones film in 8K, and to store 8K you will need that full terabyte. Another thing all of these phones have in common is that the headphone jack is completely missing from these phones. The S20 doesn't have it, nor does the S20 Plus or the Ultra. So what you'll need to do if you have headphones that you want to use is you're going to have a dongle that connects to USB-C to continue using that, or you just get some wireless headphones, some Bluetooth headphones, and a headphone jack. A missing headphone jack isn't really that big of a deal, at least to me. All of the S20s have an IP rating of 68, so they will be pretty durable. No need to worry there. And lastly, all of these phones are available for pre-order and will be in stores to buy from all of the major carriers on March 6th, so that is coming up pretty darn quick. So now that we've gone over the similarities of all of the phones, we're just gonna quickly go over the differences between them. Some of the main differences are the size and price, which we went over at the beginning, but the sizes for the S20 is a 6.2 inch screen, the S20 Plus is a 6.7 inch screen, and the S20 Ultra is a crazy 6.9 inch screen. I guess if you have small hands, I would say don't go with the Ultra. Another difference between all of these new flagship phones are the cameras. The cameras are pretty amazing and stellar on all of them. The S20, the very base model, has a 64 megapixel camera. The Ultra, on the other hand, has a 108 megapixel camera that can zoom in 100 times. That is not possible on the S20, but do you really need a 108 megapixel camera? Probably not. Another big difference is the battery life. The S20 has 4,000 milliamp hours. The S20 Plus is 4,500 and the S20 Ultra has 5,000. We've gone over the similarities and the differences of all of these phones. Who are they for? Well, the S20 is just for your average person who is a Galaxy fan who wants the newest and greatest phone. It has all the very basic things you'll need and it does it really, really well. And it's the cheapest of the new phones at $999. So that is another plus if you're looking to save a few $100s in cash. The S20 Plus is basically for whoever wants a bigger version of the S20. It is a bit more expensive, so keep that in mind. And the camera is a little bit better on the S20 Plus compared to the S20. Now, when we're talking the Ultra, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it is not for the average person. This phone has a 108 megapixel camera, it has 100 times zoom, and it has a lot of other great qualities that most people won't even get into if they buy it. This phone is 100%, in my opinion, for creators, for YouTubers who want to have a solid phone to record things on or to create films on. So will you have FOMO if you don't get the Ultra? Maybe, but you don't really need the Ultra because it has so much, like I said before, the average person won't even use. So in my opinion, if you're just looking to upgrade to the newest flagship device, look at the S20 and the S20 Plus. Okay, we have gone over the new S20 releases, the S20, the S20 Plus, and the S20 Ultra. Now it's time to move on to the fourth and final phone that was released today at Galaxy Unpacked here in San Francisco, the Galaxy Z Flip. Now, the Galaxy Z Flip will be available on February 14th for, get ready for it, it's so big I can't even say it, $1,380. Now let's quickly look back at the Ultra. The Ultra has so many amazing qualities. A 108 megapixel camera, I keep saying that because it just blows my mind. A 5,000 milliamp hour battery, and so many more things that makes it worth $1,400. The Z Flip does not have any of those things, so I don't know how you can justify buying it when you don't get half the amount of good qualities that the same price of a better phone offers. But here we are, we're gonna go over it, the Z Flip. The Z Flip can only access 4G network, so it is not 5G capable if that's what you're looking for. And when it comes to the camera, the Z Flip has 3 cameras, 2 12 megapixels on the back and one 10 megapixel camera on the front. Another cool thing about the camera is that it films in 4K, not quite 8K like this S20 series, but 4K is still pretty solid if you're looking to film and make some fun videos on it. The size of the Z Flip when it's opened gives you a 6.7-inch screen, which is a decent amount of space, and then just cut that in half when it folds, and it's about the size of your average wallet. Now let's talk technical aspects of the Flip. When it is flipped closed, when it's folded, there is a really small portion on the outside that is a touch screen, and that will house your notifications, and it will give you just a little preview of a picture if you're wanting to take one with it closed. Now, one big concern that most everybody has with these new flip phones is how durable they are. Does the hinge work? Is the screen strong enough? Is it scratch proof? Can it handle the elements? Can it handle dust and dirt getting inside? Will it last? Well, that is the great thing about the Z Flip, is I think it will last because of this one thing, among others. The screen is not plastic like the Galaxy Fold or even the Razr, its comparable competitor. It is a ultra thin glass. So when you're scrolling on it, you're not feeling every little detail underneath. It feels like a solid smartphone. And the hinge. Samsung has 100% upgraded their hinge from the fail of the Galaxy Fold last year to the Z Flip this year. The hinge is upgraded. It has little fibers now. So when you open and close it, it will protect dust and dirt from getting inside and messing with that component. And when it comes to durability, Samsung says the Z Flip can last for 200,000 folds. Now, we did some quick math, and if you open and close your phone about 50 times a day, this phone should last you about 11 years, or if you double that, if you say you open and close your phone 100 times a day, it should last you for about 5.5 years, which you're probably gonna get rid of your phone before then anyways. So only time will really tell an actual hands-on testing of the Z Flip if 200,000 folds is accurate. Another cool thing about the hinge on the Z Flip is a thing called flex mode. I hate myself for just doing that. Flex mode. What flex mode is it allows your phone, it allows the Z Flip to be at any angle so you can view things. So if it's at a really short angle like this, it's not gonna automatically close. If it's on a really wide angle, it's not gonna automatically open. Wherever you put it, it's gonna stay. So that means if you're FaceTiming or watching a video or doing whatever, the angle, you can angle the phone to whatever looks best or feels best for you, and it can basically be its own tripod. And one thing I want to note, and this is like super not important, but one of the biggest moments of this whole event was when they released the colors of the Z Flip. There are like normal colors, but then when they announced gold, everybody lost their minds.
They're gold.
I thought I missed something. I thought maybe there would be something more interesting, but no. Choosing the color gold for the Z Flip was probably the best thing Samsung could have done for this audience. They were dying for it. Now let's talk about the dreaded crease. The crease that interrupts watching movies on foldable phones. The Galaxy Fold has a crease, the Motorola Razr has a crease, and I am sorry to report that the Z Flip also has a crease, but the bright side, it is not as bad of a crease or as noticeable as a crease as its competitors. It is made of a ultra thin glass, so we're not gonna see a crease with repetitive opening and closing over time. I do not know how they got glass to fold, but they did, and I believe that it will be the best foldable phone on the market for at least this year. So who is the Z Flip for? I mean, I'm gonna say it's not really for anybody besides people who want to look pretty cool with having the newest tech. It's not as strong as the S20, which is the low-end version of the new phones released by Samsung, and it costs way more. People who want to have the latest and greatest and newest tech and be kind of unique are going to want to get this phone, but just keep in mind the camera's not as strong. Samsung hasn't even released an IP rating for this phone, so we don't really know how durable it is technically. Is it water resistant, waterproof, dust resistant, dustproof? We don't have that information. Samsung has not released it yet. Is it worth $1,300? Almost $1,400? In my opinion, no. I would say if you really want a foldable phone, wait a while until this technology becomes stronger and more foolproof and then spend the money. Right now, you're gonna spend $1,400 on a device that might not even last. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in and watching our coverage of Galaxy Unpacked. It was our first time here. We were super stoked. I was super stoked to come and experience it all. I hope you continue to watch our channel. Please, down below, subscribe, comment, let me know what you want to see, what you want to hear about next, what you want to learn about. There are going to be some changes coming to the channel. We're really going to up our game in the next few months, and I am so excited for you to join along in the journey. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter daily. I would love to hear from you. I manage all of those channels. If you want to get in touch, DM us, comment, share, like, subscribe, do it all. Thanks for watching. I'm Sherry Riggs with WhistleOut TV.